Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video from TW White & Sons Mazda. Here we have today a Mazda CX-5 2-litre petrol automatic Sport Nav Plus, presented in Soul Red Crystal with the black leather interior. Now, with all our videos, I always like to give a little bit of background on the vehicles, where they've come from, servicing, etc. Now, we actually sold this car in September, early September 2018, and we sold it from new, and it really confused me because I was like, why is the number plate SF? Because all our number plates would be sort of LX or LV, but this car was actually sold with a number plate. It was actually the gentleman's initials, but he's sold us the car with the plate. But it is a 68 plate, but it would normally have LX in front of it. So if your initials are SF, then you're in luck. But the number plate comes with the car. So we sold it new. We've always serviced it. We last saw it for servicing in October, and it's in lovely condition. We've got, like with all the used cars we have, and there's always a bit of cosmetic titivating that's needed, a couple of touch-ins or polishes, etc, etc. But all in all, it's in tremendous condition. All the wheels are unmarked. There's no obvious paintwork or anything like that needs doing. The interior is in great shape. So yeah, very good car indeed, excellent service history. And it's always nice to be selling a used car which you know the previous owner, you know where it's been serviced, etc, etc. Unfortunately, we've got a very loyal customer base. So about 75% of our cars are sourced through our existing customers. Now, what I'll do is I'm going to start at the rear of the vehicle. Now, this is a Sport Nav Plus model. Okay, so these had the sunroof, blind spot monitoring, other safety features. But I often call this the Plus Plus model. Now, that's not an official term, but this car also has the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which on this year of car you didn't always get. So I think that's a bonus. I don't think it was spec'd up to have it. I think this was just the first off the later cars. Now, you've got the automatic tailgate. Okay, so I pushed a button there to do that, but you can press the key fob or a button in the car, which I'll show you a little bit later. And for those of you who would have trouble reaching this, you can actually adjust it. Okay, so it won't open up the whole way. So depending on obviously your height and what you're comfortable with, you can actually set that there. So very, very useful indeed. I didn't think this would be so useful until I had a toddler, and when I'm coming out of the supermarket and he's in one hand and shopping's in the other, it makes life a lot easier. So let's have a look under here. So under here you have the additional Bose speaker, because this has the Bose premium sound system. You've got your tyre inflation kit, and you've got some little cubby holes to store bits and pieces. Now, some people would say, oh, where's the spare wheel? Like with most cars these days, there is no spare wheel, but if it is something you really do require, there is a kit to fit the vehicle. Okay, you've got these very clever little levers here that will allow the seats to fold. Okay, and they do fold flat. I mean, I don't think quite 180 degrees, but very close to it. So very, very useful loading area. Okay, now you've got 3 rear seats. On the 2 outer rear seats, you've got the ISOFIX anchorages. All right. You've got your centre armrest with the all-important USBs. Now, I used to think cup holders were more important than anything else, but USBs, very, very handy in the back. Now, they will charge your device, but they won't read data. There's 2 more in the front that will charge and read data. Now, I just want to draw your attention to the rear opening of this car. Now, sorry to keep referring back to having a young child, but when you're getting somebody in and out, a child in and out of a child seat, having this opening that's almost at right angle is really, really handy. And you've not got to bend down, so I think it's a real ideal family car. And I'm quite broad, and I'd find it quite easy, so an excellent car for families. And also my parents are getting on a bit, they'd probably really appreciate getting in and out of a car like this. So I'm just going to close the boot. Now the car's got reverse sensors, reverse camera, parking sensors at the front, keyless entry, so no need to take the key out. You can just press the button. Car will detect the key, obviously providing you have the key on yourself. Got the black leather interior, all in great shape. Electric front seats, but the driver's seat will have lumbar and memory. You've got a 6-speed automatic gearbox, and many other things which I'll go through when we get around the other side. The Bose Stereo, it's amazing. For those of you who don't know, Bose is a premium sound audio company. They do a lot of things now, both marine, well, they do marine, commercial, domestic speakers, and they are really high quality. So it's designed for this car, so Bose would have come in and designed it so to get the most out of the acoustics of the car. Over here you've got your electric windows, mirrors, auto folding wing mirrors. You've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 way adjusting seat plus lumbar, and your settings there. You've got the button there to open the boot, traction control, lane departure warning, engine stop start, and your parking sensors you can switch off there just very quickly without going in the settings. I used to think, why would you want to turn your parking sensors off? But at the back of my house, during the summer, the weeds, they sort of take over. And if you drive down the alleyway at a slow speed, the parking sensors are activated. It'll just bleep and bleep and bleep and bleep, and it's very, very irritating. So that is definitely a scenario I would use that in. Right, okay, so let's start the car up. Now we've got 2 keys with the vehicle, as you'd expect. Foot on the brake, and you press this button here, and the car fires into life. Now let's get the mileage. 24,298 miles. You've got your speedometer, your rev counter, fuel gauge, and you've got like an MPG gauge. Now you notice there's no temperature gauge, and that's what in fact I'll show you, because see that little, you've got red there, yeah, and then it goes to blue, all right, and then it goes off. But when you start it up in the morning or when it's cold, it'll light up blue. Some people think it's a coolant light. It's not. It's because this car doesn't have a temperature gauge like a lot of cars these days. That will remain blue until the car warms up and it will switch off. Okay, now you've got automatic wipers here, auto lights here. Now they are adaptive LED lights. They are amazing. They shall turn as you turn the car, and you've got an auto high beam function, so put the high beams on full, and when a car comes the other way, it will dip the lights, and it may not dip your lights completely, okay, not to impair your sight, but you know, enough not to impair the oncoming driver. So they are fantastic. The best way I can explain these lights, and I say it in all my videos, so apologies if you've heard this 100 times, is I can see more in the dark on an unlit road than I can at night. So I hope that makes sense, but come and try for yourself. Right, your steering column, you've got up, down, in and out, okay. You've got your, now that this isn't flashing, because it shows it's flashing up with my my camera. That's just my camera, not with the quality's not quite good, as good enough on my camera. Okay, but that will show your speed limit. Now, because we're in private land in the car park, there is no speed limit. If you put a sat nav destination in, you'll have sat nav. You'll get basic sat nav functions, you know, left, right, etc. Same with the cruise control. You'll get warnings. This car has lane keep assist, So it'll help keep you in a lane, and should you, I don't know, let go of the steering wheel and the car detects it, it will tell you to hold the steering wheel. And also, if you were getting a bit lethargic, the car could actually sense this. It reads, I know this sounds really spooky, it reads your facial expressions, and it will come up and it will tell you to take a break. And it is quite spooky, because I've been in the car on my own and I've actually thought about taking a break, and boom, it comes up, take a break. So really good stuff. You know, sometimes we need reminding of these things. You got a heated steering wheel. You've got 3-stage heated seats, which are fantastic. I'm going to leave the heated steering wheel on. I do like that. You've got dual zone climate controls, excellent. 6-speed automatic gearbox. Now, I just want to emphasize that this is an automatic gearbox in the traditional sense of it's seamless. It doesn't lurch, it doesn't roll back on hills, but it is 6-speed. It's very quick changing, very responsive. Okay, it doesn't zap up all your power, and you've got a sport mode. And should you want to make your drive a bit more exhilarating, you can drive it manually, or, you know, if you're coming down a steep hill and you want to use the gearbox to slow you down. This is your multi-media commander, I think the official name is. I call it the human interface, which will operate this here. Now, what this is branded the Mazda MZD Connect. Now, this will connect you to your apps, your entertainment, your communication, navigation, and your settings. Now, it is touchscreen, okay, but I don't encourage that, because it's only touchscreen when you're stationary. Right. Now, if you were to buy a brand new CX-5, it'll be much the same as this, but it'll have a bigger screen, and it's never touchscreen. And I had a customer say to me today, "Oh, I'm just disappointed it's not touchscreen." Now, the reason they've gone back on that is it's a bit dangerous having a touch screen, you know, when you're in operation of a vehicle, and it really is. By sort of doing this or doing this here, you don't tend to look down to do that. It's a lot safer, and you've got both hands, you know, in control. I don't know, it's just a lot better. So I always encourage people to get used to this. All right. Now let's go to the menu. So here we go. Applications. Now, remember earlier I said this is like a Sport Nav Plus. So they don't all have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I know this is greyed out, but do not panic. As soon as you plug a cable into your phone, whether you have an Android or a Apple, it will light up. So it does actually have it. If it didn't have it, these two would not come up at all. So this car, I think this, most of the 2018 cars wouldn't have had it. So this was sort of the first of the ones that did. So real plus point there. And what that means, if you've not experienced CarPlay, is you can access, display and control a lot of your apps from this system here. Now, you've got the fuel economy monitor, vehicle status monitor, warning guidance. There's nothing to warn. Earlier it had a little warning of icy roads because it was rather cold in our yard, and you've got a maintenance reminder there. Okay, so next service is due in 6 months or 9,200 miles. It was last into service with us in August, and whilst we're on that point, I just want to share something with you. Okay, so this car was supplied in September 2018, sorry, apologies. 5 miles, it was PDI, pre-delivery inspection. Serviced a year later, 8,621 miles, then a year later, 14,544, and a year later there at 21,004 miles, and it's done 24,298. So not very many miles, probably like a lot of people over the last couple of years. And the car was registered 26th of September 2018. So the warranty ran out in September last year. And this car will have a Mazda ZZ Plus used car warranty, which is the follow-on warranty from the used car warranty. So not one of these warranties that sometimes, you know, it's not really worth having. It's the follow-on. It's branded ZZ Plus. It's not got a city claim limit like £250. The claim limit is the value of the car, and it's very, very comprehensive. And it also has breakdown assistance, which is pan-European and will cover the car, any passengers. So very comprehensive indeed. I know a lot of these covers that are complimentary, they can be you know, they can sometimes be a very sort of bare bones package. Okay, so moving on, entertainment. Now this car will entertain you because there's something for everyone on here. You've got your FM channels, your AM channels, DAB. Now I don't stream much apart from documentaries. I do like a documentary, listening to a documentary in the car. But look, I'm sure there's something for everyone on here, no matter what genre you're into, what interests you have, what part of the world you're from. There is something for everyone, and yeah, I'm sure that will keep you amused. However, I generally fall asleep at night watching very interesting documentaries, etc., and I think about them in the morning, so I will sometimes start where I left off. So when my phone's connected via the Bluetooth, I can then press play on my phone, put my phone aside, and listen to the rest of the documentary. Or if you have an iPad pod, you can plug it in here. Look at this, okay, and you can read the information there. Aha and Stitcher, in case you're wondering, are apps you can get on your phone to play music. I've never really explored that, but that's what they are. Communication, so once paired up, you can access your call lists, dialed, missed, your phone book, and if you have an Android phone, it will also notify you when you have a message and read it to you. Now, the navigation system is very comprehensive, but seeing as this car has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, if you're used to using Google Maps and Waze and all the other bits and all the other programs you can use that instead of this. But this is very comprehensive. I have used this and I've travelled as far as the south of Poland to the Tatra Mountains, to a place called Zakopane, which is beautiful. And I've used this system and I had no bother at all. It's dead easy to use, put the postcode and off you go. But if you're travelling abroad, you can whittle it down by, you know, country, town, street, etc. And if you're not familiar with the area, your route, your destination, and you need to find a fuel station, you can search, okay, and it will tell you the distance, the direction, and the business name, which is helpful if you've got, say, I don't know, we've got BP cards, we'd look for a BP garage. Now you can connect this car to the internet through a Wi-Fi hotspot from your smartphone, and if you went onto this screen here, it will also give you the fuel prices. So great stuff. And once you are connected to the internet, you'll get live traffic updates, weather reports, etc., etc. Okay, so moving on. Now, settings. Now, it will take me all day to go through this, so I'm going to sort of go over the most important parts. Now, heads-up display, you can adjust that there. Okay, now you can adjust this and set it to your seat setting. So if you have two drivers, you can get yourself, you know, set, and you can also program your keys to remember your seat setting. So if you use this key to open the car, it will set to your seat settings, and if driver number 2, it will go to the other settings, which is quite cool and a bit spooky because you open the door and your seat's moving and you think, oh, what's going on? But it's moving to your position if the other driver has been driving the car before you. And then you've got here height, brightness, rotation, etc. All right. Display, you can turn this display off. You can turn it off, show the clock. Safety, distance recognition support. Now this car has got radar cruise control, so it's adaptive, which is fantastic. Something the Plus model cars come with as standard, or previous to that, you'd have to opt for the safety pack. And it's adaptive cruise control. For example, if you set your cruise control at 70, and the car in front started slowing down, going less than 70 miles an hour, the car will detect it and slow down as well. Far better suited to the UK roads, because I think cruise control is really, I just think of big Winnebagos, cruise control on open highways in America. So much better suited and save you fuel, help keep your license, etc. You've got smart brake support, smart city brake support. So I'll give you a scenario. You're in stop-start traffic. It's a hot summer's day. You're really bored. You've been in this traffic jam for about an hour. You're looking out the window. You're distracted. You're trying to entertain yourself because you've had enough of the radio. And you're rolling, and you're rolling, and the car in front stops, and you don't realise because you're looking out the window. Your car will apply its brakes. Okay. Providing there's no driver error, no driver input. Sorry, so you're not accelerating, braking, turning. So you know the car thinks, hold on a minute. You've been distracted. Okay. Now, the wonderful thing about that is a lot of accidents happen at such low speed. So this feature is recognised by insurance companies. Very useful feature because it will prevent, you know, a lot of accidents. So it should reflect in your insurance premium. And you've got smart brake support. So if you've got too close to a car in front, if you're driving along at a junction or something, it will put the brakes on as well. But you can, in fact, let's explore this. Yeah, you can change the sensitivity of it, which is handy because the warning distance, if you do near, it can be a little bit sensitive. You've got blind spot monitoring. So in each wing mirror, there's lights there and there. Okay, so if someone undertakes you or overtakes you, it'll light up and bleep just to say, be careful, somebody's coming from the inside or the outside. Lane keep assist. Now, I mentioned this earlier. So you can change the sensitivity here, the alert type. So that will keep your car in lane. So it'll track the white lines on the motorway and keep you within lane. If you let go of the steering wheel, it'll actually correct you twice and then it will come up, hold your steering wheel. But please don't do that. Sound system, it's amazing. It's Bose. We spoke about this earlier. Come and give it a go. This car has a CD player as well. So if you've got a CD you want to try, bring it along. It's got a GPS synced clock, so that's as accurate as you can get. I think that's synced. I think it's about 12 satellites it's synced to. Vehicle, you've got rain sensing wipers. You've got auto door lock, so when you drive away, the doors will lock. Keyless bleep volume. I'm going to turn that on. And I'm going to put it on high, and that's not ear piercing. And I'm going to put waterway lock on. So when I walk away from this car with the keys on myself, as I walk away, when I'm about a step away, there will be a bleep and then another bleep. The wing mirrors will fold in, and I know this car is then locked. Okay, so one less thing to do. You've got lighting. You've got sort of interior light timeout, so if you leave the doors open, don't worry, after 30 minutes the lights will go out. High beam control I mentioned earlier, adaptive front lights I mentioned earlier. You've got leaving home lights, so if you open the car up, the lights will stay on. Okay, if you did it on the key fob, the lights will stay on to give you safe passage to the car and coming home as well. When the car's locked, it'll give you 30 seconds, but you can adjust that time, of course, to give you safe passage to your front door, etc. So all good stuff. And you can have a speed alarm. There you go. There's your devices, system. You can change languages, measures, etc. So we mentioned the warranty earlier. The car shall go through the workshop. All right. And the car will also come with MOT insurance. So if there's certain things that didn't pass on the next MOT, we shall do them. Now, with this car, we will probably end up MOTing it and servicing it before it goes out. In fact, we will, okay? We'll give it a good valet, but it's all very nice indeed as it is. Warranty we spoke about. We've got great finance facilities. We've got delivery and collection facilities. And please, it's no bother at all if you want us to send more photos and videos of the vehicle that are more specific. No bother at all, and I really do mean that. And do try us at any time of day. If you can't reach us on the phone, leave a message. If it's out of working hours, for example, we will pick that message up and we will return the emails, response to the emails. I just want to mention on part exchange. Part exchange is extremely welcome. I know you turn the radio on, the TV on, there's a certain household name that pops up, you know, telling you, put your reg number in, get a valuation in 10 seconds and get a better deal, etc. You will get the best deal here with us at TW White & Sons with a part exchange. We welcome part exchange. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope I've not missed out anything. And I hope I've not bored you. So thanks for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you. Bye bye.